Tim, a 4-0 win against Colne this afternoon. Just give us your overall thoughts on that one.
Well, we needed a reaction after Wednesday. Obviously, it was a real disappointment, the way we played, particularly defensively. I think when we look back, the amount of chances we created, I think we had 21 in the game, so wasn't as much going forward really, but if you're needing to score 3-4 goals to win games, which out of the last few away games we did, it was an area that we needed to address really. So, thought we were excellent today, controlled it right from about 10 minutes in really, once the game settled, thought we really controlled the game, dominated it. We were really good for the 4 goals, thought we could have had a few more as well. Dominated in their half, really aggressive in terms of our pressing, patient with the ball, so good to see us back to our normal ways.
4 changes in the starting 11, which included 2 debuts for Aaron Chalmers and a 4th debut as such for Nicky Adams. Just talk us through today's selection.
Yeah, I think after the other night, it's an area at the back that we needed. Not so much after the other night, really. I think Macca touched on it in his interview around we were too soft in terms of defending long balls, defending direct play, and we know that's what we're going to be up against in this league quite a lot, particularly away from home. So, especially if we're going to press the way we press, so we've got to be really good at winning second balls and winning them first contacts when we're in their half, and being really aggressive in defending the half. So, first, Aaron came in, thought he was excellent, absolutely excellent. Really calm on the ball, built the game really well, slowed it down, speeded it up at the right times, and then from a defensive point of view, I think he won most of his headers all game, really aggressive in the air, dominant, got us up the pitch, made a massive difference from that point of view, and then it was his organisation as well. If you look away from the ball, his leadership and just the communication all the time to make sure the back lines where they should be and people around him were set up to defend properly. And then Nicky, obviously Nicky's quality and his experience and his career speaks for itself, and I know all the fans are over the moon to have him back, but you could see straight away with him, his calmness on the ball, his ability to always be a free player with his movement and his angles, and then the first goal came from it, just calmness to play through the lines and pick the right passes and make the right decisions, and his ability to particularly dictate and control the tempo is going to be massive for us.
Obviously, a couple of defeats over the last few games. Obviously, that first defeat coming off the back of an 8-0 win against Longbridge, very similar sort of game to what we saw today. How do you keep the consistency in the results to make sure that you don't have sort of another couple of defeats in maybe 2 or 3 weeks' time?
Yeah, I think the way we play, the idea is that we play the same way every game. So we're really aggressive without the ball. We make teams go long a lot. I think we're averaging over 70% of the ball, and most of it is in the opposition's half. So that doesn't really change, and we're averaging the same amount of chances every game, which is over 20 most games. So it's not particular that, it's the moments that the half a dozen times when you've got to defend those direct long balls. At the half, it's when we're in shape, the box defending in the air, and we've been very vulnerable recently on crosses and direct long balls. So I think the addition of Aaron makes a massive difference, gives everyone confidence as well. We just got to be more organised with it. We work on it a lot in training, but it's an area that we have to improve if we're going to win the league.
Brad Carroll was part of the warm-up this afternoon, which is obviously a positive thing for his recovery. What's the latest on his return?
Yeah, so he's probably slightly ahead of schedule from when he originally did the injury. Brilliant to have him back on the field. He's back doing some fitness work. He's just started today doing a bit of technical work as well. So we're thinking it'll probably be another 3 or 4 weeks before we can get him involved and contact and close to being for games. But again, the fans only saw him for a short period at the start of the season, but he was excellent for us. Again, that leadership and that physicality in the middle, as well as his ability on the ball and his experience. He's been around non-league a long time. It's great to have him back, and we're hoping, we don't want to rush it too much, we're hoping it can be 3 or 4 weeks.
And Josh Gregory as well, obviously a player that's been out over the last few weeks, very much in that same area, which has sort of been few and far between in terms of available players. We saw his post on socials earlier in the week looking to, again, another positive sort of news on his return.
Yeah, absolutely. His shoulder, he obviously dislocated it in the home game. He's been given a bit of good news that he can actually rehab it without needing an op, which is fantastic for him. I think, again, if you look at the recruitment from pre-season, if you look at the type of player in the middle there, from Brad, who's an aggressor, from Josh, who's an aggressor, and then to be without Bobby as well, they're 3 top players in centre midfield. So, yeah, the quicker we can get them back, the better. But it's an area that we've got some real depth in now, especially with Nicky coming in.
Looking to Tuesday, Earlham, it's a tough place to go. It was a tough game at their place last season. What are you looking for from the lads for that one?
It's a really, really big game. They're a very, very good side. It's a difficult place to go. Pitch is difficult. They've got real effective players in the final third. One of which Deck that we had last year, obviously, but they've got 2 or 3 other lads that are very, very efficient. So yeah, the unfortunate thing is we haven't got a session in between. But I think there's certain things that, as a group, we wanted to improve on in the last few games that we did really well today. That we'll be certainly taking into the game on Tuesday.
Perfect. Thanks for your time, Tim.